Hey guys, how's it going? You're watching Waxing a Fool, and today we're going to be talking about the quarter-final lineup for the Europa League and the Champions League. Let's get right into it. So to kick things off, let's go with the first team out of the hat, and that's Ajax. Fresh off defeating the 13-time champions, Real Madrid. This is a massively talented group of players, both young and old, saying we're no pushovers. We're here to stay at the top table of European football. They went toe-to-toe with Bayern both times in the group stage, coming out with a couple of draws, and they made a complete mockery of Los Blancos at the Bernabeu, showing they've come a long way from that inexperienced side we saw in the Europa League final a couple of years ago against Manchester United. But now, they're up against Juventus, armed with the single most dominant player in Champions League knockout football history, in Cristiano Ronaldo. It showed just why the Bianconeri brought him in with that hat-trick against Atletico Madrid in the last round. And with Max Allegri's men already having their 8th straight Scudetto wrapped up domestically, their focus is going to be on this competition alone. So I think the road ends here for Ajax, unfortunately. I'm going with a 4-2 aggregate win over 2 legs. I think Ajax might get a win at home, but overall there's no match for Juventus at the moment. Next up is Spurs vs Manchester City, in a tie between a couple of teams who wouldn't have even dreamed of getting to this stage 10 years ago. Means there's definitely going to be an English side in the semi-finals for the second year in a row, and it sets the scene for the first European fixture as well at Tottenham's new stadium. April is chock full of massive games for Manchester City, including 3 against Mauricio Pochettino's side, so it'll be interesting to see how they balance out their quadruple ambitions. They certainly have the squad to go all the way in all their competitions, but Spurs, they're going to be even more motivated in this tie than the one against Dortmund in the last round. I mean, they have a chance at a trophy for real now. They've never made the semi-finals before in this competition, but if they can sort their league form out and stabilise their top 4 ranking, then I think this competition could become their main focus between now and the end of the season, like it did for Liverpool last season. The pair do tend to have closely fought battles on the pitch, and I think on paper this is probably the most entertaining tie of the lot, in terms of both teams playing expansive end-to-end football. In terms of my prediction, I've got a sneaky suspicion that Spurs might actually do it. There's going to be a lot of goals, but I'm going to go 5-4 overall for Spurs over the 2 legs. They're going to make the semi-finals. Next we go on to Liverpool, my team, and we're playing Porto again. We battered them 5-0 last year over 2 legs in the round of 16. Sadio Mane got an away hat-trick, but Porto have a good defence now. They're going to have Iker Casillas in goal for both legs. Hopefully they won't make that same mistake again. They've got Pepe in defence, Eder Militao, Danilo Pereira. They've got loads of class players. So I don't think it'll be as one-sided as last year's matchup. But when you factor in that both sides are competing in closely fought title races domestically, the strength and reserve of the respective squads, it is going to play a big role. From a Liverpool standpoint, I think we're close to having a full-strength squad back now, finally, with Oxlade-Chamberlain and Gomez included after the international break, so we should be dealing with it quite comfortably. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win on aggregate over the 2 legs. And finally, last and least, is Manchester United versus Barcelona. And honestly, I don't know. The run United have been on under Solskjaer, including that comeback against PSG, it seems like they're destined to go to the final. Oh wait. What's that? Leo Messi said the Champions League is the main objective this season, and they don't have a title race or a top 4 challenge to worry about. Huh. Sorry United fans, can't argue with that, can you? I'm going to have to go Barca 4-2 on aggregate. United might have a good game at Old Trafford, but overall, Messi's a motivated man. Can't stop him with Smalling and Bailly. So before the end of the video, I'm just going to quickly rattle through the quarter-final draw for the Europa League as well. Obviously I don't know as much about all of the teams in this competition, so I don't have as much to say about it. But yeah, let's start off with Arsenal versus Napoli. I do think this tie is going to be very much end-to-end, with chances for both teams. Arsenal obviously have a massive attacking threat with Lacazette, Aubameyang, Iwobi, and the new and improved Mesut Ozil, of course. So I don't think it'll be plain sailing for Napoli, but obviously they have Kalidou Koulibaly, and I think he'll be the main difference maker for them. And they are comfortably second in Serie A at the moment, so they'll see this as a great chance to pick up some silverware. The Gunners, on the other hand, they're in the middle of a four-way scramble for just 2 remaining Champions League spots domestically, and they might see this competition as a more straightforward way to get to the Champions League next season. I guess we'll just see where their priorities lie in their lineup selections. That being said, Carlo Ancelotti is a master of European knockout football, and this Napoli side, they're only in the Europa League because they were drawn in the group of death in the Champions League with PSG and Liverpool. So I'm going to back them in this prediction, 4-2 on aggregate over the 2 legs. Next, it's Chelsea versus Slavia Prague, and I'm not going to pretend to know anything about Czech football, but what I do know is that this side just knocked out Sevilla 6-5 on aggregate, and we know how good they've been in the Europa League over the past 5 or 6 years. Chelsea though, they have far superior players. It should be easy work. I'm going to call 5-2 on aggregate. Moving on to Benfica versus Frankfurt, in a tie which sees Serbian sensation Luka Jovic return to his parent club Benfica, who'll be leaving at the end of the season on a permanent transfer. Like Arsenal and Chelsea, Frankfurt are also in a domestic battle for an automatic Champions League qualification place, with Leverkusen and Gladbach also in the running. And after outclassing Inter in the last round, they'll definitely be seeing this as a winnable tie as well. And if they can go all the way, it'll be a great way to continue their trophy winning form after picking up the German Cup last season. Benfica currently sit top of Liga North on goal difference, but even if they come second, they'll be in the Champions League anyway next season. And of course they have that old European curse hanging over their heads, so I'm going to go with Frankfurt on this one, 3-2 on aggregate over the 2 legs. And finally, 2 teams I know next to nothing about is Villarreal versus Valencia. Looking at the La Liga table and Villarreal's Yellow Submarine, it might just be about to sink. They're only a point above the relegation zone at the time of recording, and I can't imagine they've got much appetite for distractions in the Europa League over their top flight future. So I'm going to go with Valencia to smash them out the park, 5-0 on aggregate. So yeah, those are my predictions for the quarterfinals in the Europa League and the Champions League. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you next time.